What is going on YouTube? Today we're going to be test tasting a couple of high protein snacks. These are a couple of high protein snacks that I've tried before, and I've got to say that they're some of my favorites. And so that's going to be the point of today's video, is to see how all of these rank and which one tastes the best, but also which ones are most macro friendly. So without further ado, let's get to it. Before we kick off this video, I do want to make it a point to say that you should try to get your calories in through whole foods. This is going to be the best option in terms of overall quality of food. However, little treats like this can definitely help prevent cravings and also still allow you to get in the adequate amount of protein that you need on a day-to-day basis. The first thing that we're going to be trying today are the Quest protein chips. These are one of the go-tos that I had back in the day whenever I first started weightlifting. And they're definitely a classic. They've been around for a while, and overall, their macros are pretty good. For a bag of these chips, you're looking at 140 calories to about 20 grams of protein. So definitely not bad if you're looking for a quick, easy, and savory treat to go to. I know I myself was a big fan of potato chips and things like that before weightlifting and getting my nutrition dialed in. Now, however, I go towards other alternatives. Sometimes I'll eat tortilla chips and things like that just because I can keep it relatively low calorie, or, monitor my calories so I can fit that in. However, these were one of the alternatives that I went to back in the day, and it's been a while since I've had them. So let's go ahead and give them a taste test. And you can see they have kind of a Dorito-like texture to them. One thing I will say is I remember whenever I first tried these, they definitely had a weird texture to them. And since I haven't had them in a while, I want to see how they compare after not having them for about a year. So cheers, let's give them a test. Overall, I think that they're still pretty good, well seasoned and well flavored, but the texture is a little odd if you're used to regular tortilla chips. Definitely a non-texture on the back end. They kind of melt in your mouth a little bit, so it takes a little bit getting used to, but not a bad option if you're looking to make something like a portable taco or something along those lines and just have that extra crunch in there. Overall, I would rate these probably like a 7 out of 10, at least compared to, what I remember them being and what I remember these being. But definitely not a bad option if you're a savory person over a sweets person. So getting into the sweets here, we're looking at the protein cookies, the Pop-Tarts, the peanut butter cups, and it feels like a lot of companies come out with sweet things to fill that sweet craving. There's not as many savory options. However, there are a few out there outside of the Quest chips, like the cheese balls that are the Power Cheese balls, and they have about 20 grams of protein as well, if I'm remembering correctly. So there are options out there, but definitely not like there are for sweets. But that's probably because most people crave sweets whenever they start dieting or cutting back on calories. And again, I can't stress it enough, but you don't want to make these the staple of your diet. You just want them every now and then. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and try our first sweet, and it's going to be these brownies that I just had for the first time about a week ago. These are great. I had them, and I was pretty surprised by how well they actually measured up. From a macro standpoint, we're looking at 220 calories to 9 grams of fat, 19 grams of carb, and 20 grams of protein, or just under. We're looking at really 19. However, I've got to say that these were pretty solid, at least whenever I tried them. So let's see how they rank compared to the rest. Also, I have to say I'm kind of a fan of the branding here. I mean, it's pretty simple. The only thing I don't like is the fact that they have the donut on here and it's a brownie. I mean, what's the difference between a chocolate glazed donut flavor brownie? Isn't that just a glazed brownie? But that's being a little nitpicky, so let's give this a shot. As you can see, it definitely looks like a packaged brownie, and it's pretty soft. So we're gonna go ahead and give it the taste test. Overall, I gotta say that this definitely holds up. It's as good as I remember it being a week ago, and it's really like moist, soft, and chocolatey. I don't really know where they're getting the glaze thing from, but either way, I'm a big fan. As far as where I would rate it, it'd probably be about an 8 out of 10. A little bit better than the protein chips, and it feels like a real texture, but one thing I will say as far as a knock goes is it is a little bit chemically, kind of like whenever you're eating a Quest protein bar and you kind of know like this didn't come from a natural source. Next, we'll go ahead and try the Pop-Tart here. Now, I have tried these on the channel before, and one thing that I didn't do previously was microwave it for 10 seconds, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, and we can see it is microwaved as the instructions said it would be. And I can tell you right now, just cutting this in half, it's like definitely not a Pop-Tart because them bitches break straight in half. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Definitely feels lighter and fluffier than a regular Pop-Tart, and it feels like the breaded part here is actually real. So let's go ahead and give this a test taste, see how it adds up. Overall, it's not too bad. It's definitely a lot better microwave than whenever it's just regularly out of the package, but it is nice that you can just buy it, take it out of a package, and eat it anywhere. I feel like this one doesn't taste as much like whey as the last one did, and that was in my full day of eating video. If I remember, I'll go ahead and post a link up here. But I will say that the microwaving definitely helps make it a little bit softer, and that filling is way more noticeable after it's microwaved. So definitely a recommendation to microwave these, even if it's only for 10 seconds. As far as calories and macros go, we're looking at 180 calories, 8 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbs, and 20 grams of protein. So as far as macros go, I gotta say that these definitely rank up there, but I'm probably gonna rate this a 6.8 out of 10. And the reason why is because the macros are good, but the taste isn't like a regular Pop-Tart. And since they are marketing it kind of like a regular Pop-Tart, I gotta say that it falls a little bit short of that. That doesn't mean that it's not good, it just means it's not gonna live up to that expectation. Although, I would definitely buy them again. Next on the list is gonna be the Quest Protein Chocolate Chip Cookies. These are definitely a good old throwback for me. I used to eat them all the time back in the day, especially during my first powerlifting competition. This was an easy way to get in 200 calories and a little bit of protein. And as far as those calories go, we're looking at 240 calories to 17 grams of fat, 19 grams of carbs, and about 15 grams of protein. So these are definitely the lowest protein thing that I've eaten so far, and I do have to say that that's definitely going to affect its score. But as far as aesthetics go, this thing definitely looks like an actual chocolate chip cookie. Let's see if it's as good as I remember. As far as taste goes, I don't remember it being so like flat. Maybe I was just like in a calorie deficit or something. Maybe it wasn't in my powerlifting competition phase, but these definitely don't taste as good as I remember them tasting. But they're not bad. Like, they're definitely a good replacement for a regular chocolate chip cookie. And of course, they're higher protein than chocolate chip cookies, which is a benefit. But as far as they rank on all of the snacks that I've tried so far today, I'd probably give them like a 6.5 out of 10. Are they worth buying? Yeah, maybe. If you're on like a road trip and you're looking for something sweet, and maybe you're dieting and you're trying to avoid binging on a bunch of sweets, you get one of these, you get 15 grams of protein, and you get to kill that sweet craving. With that said, this is probably one of the worst macros that we've had so far, and I've got to say, it's a little bit of a letdown. Not that it's bad, but I think my past self was not as smart as I am now, so I gotta say that this is a little bit of a disappointment. And last but not least, we're looking at the peanut butter cup here. These are the Quest peanut butter cups, and these might have some of the worst macros as far as the sweet treats go that I've tried today. We're looking at 200 calories, 15 grams of fat, 13 grams of carb, but only 11 grams of protein. Now these don't have to have a ton of protein in them because I see them as kind of a candy replacement. If you're a big candy person or you're just craving a Reese Pieces, this might be more efficient than grabbing a Reese Pieces, which is going to be a little bit higher in calories and much lower in protein. However, I do think that it's okay to have a Reese Pieces every now and then, especially if you're using them before a workout. Having those simple sugars can help get in a good pump. So there is some benefit to the original Reese Pieces. Reese peanut butter cups. I've been saying Reese Pieces this entire time. But the original Reese peanut butter cups don't have 11 grams of protein. So with this being a higher protein snack video, we're gonna go ahead and give these a shot. As far as the aesthetic goes, they definitely look like a regular Reese's peanut butter cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if the taste adds up. or if it's as good as I remember. Yeah, overall, I'm gonna say that was probably like a 7 out of 10. The calories and protein aren't great, but as far as the taste goes, it's pretty darn good. I mean, it's gonna be up there with a regular candy bar. I would definitely say that's a solid replacement for the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups if that's your thing, and it provides more protein, so there is some give there. However, I wouldn't solely rely on these because they are a little bit higher in calorie and they're not super calorie dense. This isn't a ton of volume. It's only 2 peanut butter cups for 200 calories. So overall, I think a 7 out of 10 is pretty good. So with that said, today's winner is gonna be the protein brownie here. In my opinion, it's the best tasting, but the biggest knock on it again is that it kind of does have that prepackaged taste. But then again, all of these foods do because they're all prepackaged. At the end of the day, what matters the most is what fits best for you and your goals moving forward. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Hannah is gonna help me polish off the rest of these snacks here, and I'll probably keep them around, so definitely keep an eye out for these little treats here and there and some of these full days of eating videos that I'll be posting coming up in the next month. About a month or two ago, I mentioned a giveaway for this channel, and I still wanna do that for you all, and I think I have a little bit of a plan in place. When this channel hits 500 subscribers, we're gonna go ahead and post the announcement, so be sure to subscribe if you aren't already, so that way you don't miss that announcement. For this giveaway, I'm gonna go ahead and give out a free pre-workout, so definitely be sure to subscribe because we all love our pre-workout, right? I know it's not much, but it is coming out of pocket. I don't have any sponsors or anything like that, and so I wanna make sure that I'm giving back to the people that are, contributing to this channel and helping motivate me make content, and hopefully I'm helping you with your fitness goals and helping motivate you to take that next step forward in your fitness journey. So with all of that said, I'll finally end the video here. If you did make it this far, thank you, I do appreciate it. And of course, I have to make a shout out to all of the people that have been subscribing and enjoying my content. I appreciate you all. It really does mean a lot to me that this channel has grown as much as it has in the past 6 months. So definitely a shout out to everyone that has been helping me grow this channel. With that said, I'll see you all in the next video.